over the next couple of months or so in this new Renault ZOE that I would try a few experiments and trying to see how the range is doing. So I topped up the battery last night. It was very empty, the warning light was on, but that was fine. I was trying to do that, so I got a full charge. So we are full 100%. It came up when I flagged up, and because it's cold, it is 0 degrees out there, so the battery is not in its proper operational window. And I thought we'll try a wee experiment and see how far I go. And so I'm planning to go down to Dundee, where there's a rapid charger. Unfortunately, there are no rapid chargers in Aberdeen at the moment. There are 2, but neither of them are working. There should be one at Laurencekirk, and that has not been working for the last couple of months either, which would be a great place to have one. It's a great place to have it, but it needs to be working. So Aberdeenshire Council have dropped the ball there. I think it was working for 2 days and then developed a fault, and they haven't repaired it. So not good. Anyway, we'll see how we go. 67 miles, it says the range here, which is not bad considering how cold it is. And it's going to be mostly on dual carriageway. So I'm not going to go very fast, and if I need to, I can stop at Forfar and top up. But I'm going to try and get all the way to Dundee. Now, the reason for kind of testing this out is that I'd like to be able to go down to Glasgow, and to do that I would need to stop either at Dundee or at Perth, or both, for top-ups. One would need to be a longer charge, but the rapid charger is relatively quick. Anyway, I'm loving the car. The car is absolutely fantastic, and it's quite smooth and really nice. So these are just the kind of, and around the city it's brilliant, and the range is not an issue at all. We have a charger just down the road, not even a minute's walk away, run by Charge Your Car, and that's working absolutely fine. So I can charge up there whenever need be, and hoping we might get a charging point put up at the church as well, at the back, which I could top up with, and indeed other folks could use as well if they need to. So we'll see how we go. And it's very easy to start this. Foot on the pedal, press start stop, and we're off. Ready, it says. Put it in gear, and that's it. The noise you hear is a bus going by, because there is no noise from the car at all. Well, I've just used half of the battery charge. So the battery on this, it doesn't give you a state of charge readout, like a percentage of the battery remaining. It does that when you first get in the car. It tells you what the percentage in huge letters on the dashboard. But what it gives you is a graduated 8-point scale on the battery, and it's not like an LED kind of fuel gauge that we have in quite a lot of cars. Our other Citroen has one of those where you just a bar goes at a time. This graduation grows gradually down, so you do see kind of more precisely what the battery charge is. So I've just hit half the battery, and I seem to be doing absolutely fine. I've got 36 miles of range left, it's telling me, and I'm going downhill at the moment, so it's charging the battery up a little bit, which is nice, but then just about to go up again, so it'll be sapping the energy. And I have, according to the sat nav, 25.7 miles to the car park. So when I left Aberdeen, it was the range it was telling me for the car was about the same destination range. So I've made about 10 miles back because of my superlative driving skills. Ha ha ha. I just set the cruise control and have let the car do the driving. But it's steady state driving. I'm not going very fast, and so it's fine. I've made some range back on what it's saying. Interestingly enough, it has flagged up a couple of times warnings on the sat nav as a reminder saying you're not going to make it to your range. It hasn't done that for the last 10-15 miles, and I noticed each time it did it was after climbing quite a long hill, so I guess it is taking into account the current draw on the battery and making a calculation to say, well, look, if you keep using this amount of energy, you're not going to make it. But as those were just short stretches, it's been fine, and I seem to have made up the rest. So it looks at the moment like stopping off at Forfar is not required, and you can just go straight down to Dundee. Now, this would be great for travelling down to Glasgow. If it's easy to get down to Dundee in one hop, then use the rapid charger there, top up in half an hour or so, and you're ready to go probably the rest of the way down to Glasgow, so you can just do it with one stop, which would be ideal. So we'll see how we go. The other thing about the electric cars, I was talking about speed earlier and how much the speed makes a difference. With raised speed, meaning using more energy, the other side to that, of course, is that if you are running low on battery charge, you just simply slow down, and your range will just automatically increase as a result of that. So you always have that option. Now, that's on a motorway like this, on a dual carriageway, that's not the safest of options. But if you're off the dual carriageway, and probably that's where a small electric car like this is most at home, when you're on smaller roads and the regenerative braking can get some energy back. Really not getting much energy back because this road is such a smooth road. There are a few hills, but not much. It tells you, the car tells you what your direct consumption is, and there is this, it's almost like a tachometer or a rev counter, which shows you the draw of energy you're using at any given time. So when you're in the green, that's good. If you're in the blue, which is down a bit from there, you're regenerating. If it goes yellow, you are pedal to the metal, which is fun, but not really required on a journey like this. So there we are, things progressing fine, and I think, well, I'm on range of 34 miles now, and the sat nav is saying 22 miles to reach the destination. So yeah, I'll just head straight down to Dundee. Well, I have arrived in Dundee at the charging station right there at Greenmarket, and that's a rapid charger, and that looks good to see that. But you will see that my range was 14 miles left on the estimated range, so actually I had plenty in hand. There's must be about 15% of the battery left, something like that. So actually the last 10 miles I upped the speed to 60, and it seemed to stay about steady, the range there. I still had about 10 miles in hand, and then of course when you come down into Dundee, it's such a long downhill. I gained back a couple of miles of range as the regenerative braking all the way down, basically down to the river when you're coming down. So that was great. So charging up, here we go. To do this dead easy, down the bottom here, there's a wee button you press, and that releases the oh, in fact, let me shut down here. I'll get my wee score. Look at that, 92 out of 100. I'm getting better and better with my score. The children will be very proud. They're very excited about this score and how well you're doing with your green driving. So press the button down here, and you may have just heard that. It pops the bonnet. Then I need my card, which I'm keeping my charging cards here to go and charge up. Around the front of the car, and open that up. Just show your card here. Validating user. There you go. Connect plug to the vehicle. So it's the Menikes one I'm using. You see it locks in place so no one can remove it. And connect plug to the vehicle. I've done that. Press start button. And it is flashing, and it is, that's it, it started charging. And there it gives you the running tally. So this should be working at 43 kilowatts, and the battery is the battery is 20. It's 22 kilowatt hours. It holds, but it's actually a bit. It's a bit more than that. They have a bit of contingency in there, and then so it shouldn't take too long. It's got time remaining on there. I'm expecting that to go down as it starts to ramp up the charge there, but it's off charging. Cool. That was very straightforward. Really quite effortless and smooth. And as I say, in the summer, I mean, the temperature the highest was 3 degrees, which is what it is here under cover. But most of the way it was about 0 or 1, so it's cold, so it's not great conditions for the battery, but no problems. So it'd be easy, I think, at a faster speed to come down when it's warmer and charge up here, ready for the haul further down the road. So brilliant, no problems at all. The eco mode, I was talking a bit about that on the way down. The other thing it does, I mentioned about the lower top speed and reducing the draw for the air conditioning and climate control. It also remaps the accelerator. So again, you don't notice that on the motorway, but around town it's very noticeable, and it means that there's more travel on the accelerator for the given energy you're getting. So there's a much smoother delivery of energy, or slower delivery of energy, more graduated delivery of energy when you're in eco mode, deliberately so that you have to push harder to get more power. And it's actually quite nice around town because you have much more control over it. Not having it on eco mode though is much more fun because it's actually quite a peppy motor. The power rating is 65 kilowatts, which I think is about 88 horsepower, but as far as I know, it has a kind of boot, kind of over boost for a brief period if you floor the throttle, which is up to about 72 kilowatts, and that is, you're heading towards 100 horsepower, and this is a little Clio-sized car, so that's like full-size diesel, top of the range diesel power. So and the torque is right there from low down, so it's actually a lot of fun, but uses a lot more power doing it that way. So but it's nice having that option, the two different ways to drive it. And the other thing you start to really learn when you're driving this a lot is it's anticipation. It's lifting off the throttle earlier than maybe you're used to, and just letting it either coast, where you're just lifting off the throttle enough that you're not putting any power in, and then the engine will just coast, or you lift off and it'll start regenerating. If it's regenerating, it's getting energy back, so it will slow the car down to do that. That's how it gets the energy back. But all in all, that's all very straightforward. And while I've been chatting, there's already I don't know if you can see that, but on the screen over there, 1.2 kilowatts have been put in, and it's going up as we go. Yeah, I'll wait here for a little while. I may just go for a wee walk. We're right next to the river, and then come back and see how the car's doing. Notice this sculpture outside the car park. Don't know if this is the way old cars are headed. Maybe it is. You can see the chemicals on the base plate underneath, and we're just opposite here, the Science Centre, Dundee Science Centre, which is worth a visit. It's good fun with the kids when they were much younger, a long time ago. So life has just got a little bit more complicated. I thought I'd go and get a wee coffee while waiting for the car to charge, and I saw an EE store, and my wife's phone is due for an upgrade, so I thought, I'll just get that sorted while I'm here. And then I noticed that they have this sharer plan, so you can share the data, and I never use my full data, so it made sense to save some money that way. However, that proved very complicated. So now I'm running a little late, which is going to make life interesting for getting back. So I'm hoping the car is fully charged, just coming back to the car park. Now, let's go and find out. And yes, it's all done. So that's good. Nice, 100%. Okay, I'm just going to unplug and then get going. So now when I get into the car, the range is 80 miles, so it's gone up, taking into account the driving we were just doing. And so anyway, I need to get out of here and head up the road rather more quickly than I anticipated. So hey, if you're going to test these things, test them in style, right? So here we go, and you can tell how quiet this is when you're driving along. Right, I'll give you an update on the way. Okay, so I am on my way out of Dundee now, and the range is saying 77 miles. The sat-nav says it's 63.8 miles back home, and so the range thing I'm not that bothered about, other than I need to get back for the kids getting out of school, and my stop was which I intended to be about 20 minutes, was a lot longer, and which is fine. The car was all nicely charged up and all of that, but it would have been charged up a long time before I got to it. It's getting back to get the kids from school, so I'm gonna have to go faster. I may need to call somebody just to say, could you pick them up and hang on to them for 10 minutes? We'll see how we go. So this is definitely real life testing, and that's all cool. I did get a new phone and an upgrade, so that's all cool, but it yeah, took a lot longer than anticipated. Anyway, so the battery is just tipped down to the halfway mark, and the range says 35 miles. I've got 27 to go, so that's all fine. And I have my arrangements made, so the kids are fine. I will pick them up. And they are getting rescued from the school, and I'll pick them up 10 minutes later than I had intended. I've been driving faster on the way back, so between 60 and 65, and so that will be taking a bit of a toll on the consumption. But I have to say the car is absolutely fine at these speeds. It just feels completely normal. The previous car we had was a big 2.5 ton four-wheel drive Mercedes, so it was a very quiet car, and I suspect it was slightly quieter at these sorts of speeds. Certainly there's less kind of reverberation in the car, but it's not far off. Of course, no engine noise in this, so all you've got is the wind noise and road noise, and mostly that's the wind noise, kind of roar of the wind. So it's not bad at all. It's really very pleasant for doing a longer journey in. Yeah, the car's behaving absolutely fine. Just me and my timing is the issue. So 25 miles to Aberdeen, and 34 miles in the range. I think we've got plenty of charge here to get back, no problems. So all good. You notice that in order to go a little bit faster, the eco mode is not off, and you may see that the colour scheme changes on the dashboard depending on what mode you're in. So I'm not on eco mode at the moment, and you get this nice sort of fetching blue colour in the background. And if I put on eco mode, which is going to then bump me out of the cruise control, because that's what it does in between, it goes to this very eco-friendly green colour. Yeah, there's a button on the left here which then lets you further change some of what you have. So you have a different view, and that's your energy in a very sweepy look. And if you start to regenerate, it goes back the other way into the battery and all of that kind of thing. All very fun. And you can take that off and just have a very kind of minimal screen. I do prefer this one, I think, where it gives you the wee chart showing your energy consumption and your kind of throttle position, what the car's doing. You can get a whole picture on the center dash on the R-Link system, which shows you the the innards of the car, the engine and the battery and the air conditioning and where the energy's going and all of that, which looks very fun, but it's one of those things that you look at a few times, and it looks really nice. They've done a nice job of it, but then you turn it onto the radio or the sat nav screen, the maps, or something like that. So I'm back to Aberdeen, and I am a few minutes late. Later than intended by a long way, but a few minutes late. Actually, I'll go straight up. And Riverside Drive. I'm just going to turn her down. Since I know where I'm going now. And the sat nav is very useful when you're doing this kind of thing, so that you know your distances to where you are. Where you're going. She's going to get very confused now because I'm going the wrong way, and I've still got 9 miles of range, so I could have I wanted a few miles because I've still got a bit of running around to do, but that I could have gone a bit faster, so I've definitely used more energy coming back between 60-65 miles an hour rather than 50-55 as it did on the way down, but it's there's enough scope there that you could do it a little bit faster even. Anyway, pick up the kids and then head back to the house and plug in and charge up. Update in a moment. So we have arrived back at the charging point, which is just near the house, and after the journey down to Dundee and back, I now have safely in the car strange people, and you'll see the warning light for warning if the low battery is on. It says 8 miles left, so that's plenty there. That was fine. And the rapid charger in Dundee was the cable was attached to it already. Here we need to use the cable in the car, but that is very straightforward. Indeed, one might say it is child's play, and so the children can even show you how it is done. And we'll get the car charging up, so I will turn off, and you see my faster drive back up has brought the score back to 90. I was at 92. Do you know what? Earlier today.
Really, 92.
Yeah,
you're back to 90.
And I'm back to 90.
No, back to.
However, not too bad. And
yeah.
So we will charge up. So again, same thing. I need to undo that, and then get the card. You guys want to get the cable out the back?
No.
You're so helpful. Okay.
And then you go boink.
Pull it open. That's it. Just like that. You've
Oh,
got the cable.
I want the card.
Alright, put the card up against it. Choose your plug. That's it. Alright, give me the blue end. Blue end into the car. Alright, do it one at a time. Okay, bring it over. Bring it over. Okay.
I can do it. Maybe.
All the way in. All the way.
I am.
No, you didn't. No, not yet, because... okay, so sometimes it's not always child's play. We will open it again.
There.
Right, you're in now this time. That's fine. There you go, Andrew. You can do it.
Lock that in.
Slide it in all the way, and that's it. Charging. Okay.
No, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put
You put it back, and it flashes fast when it is talking to the charger, and then it goes into a kind of zony in and out when that's it locked in. it goes, and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a slight whine when it starts actually charging.
Hey-oh, I'm a banana.
So we were at 12% left.
Do we?
And that is it charging. All right.
Ooh.
End of journey in the wee Zoe.
I can't.
You want to get that?
Dad, you better take your thing.
So I'm back in the house now, and I've got the chicken on, so that's good. Kids still need to be doing their homework, but the car's plugged in, and I really like this feature that you can see on the website what's going on there. It tells you what the charge rate is and what's going on, and you can do this with the apps as well for phones. And I have Nexus 7, and I use the app on that, and it tells you the same thing. And you can also, of course, you can set the air conditioning, the climate control to come on, and even when you're not there, just to turn on and warm up the car and stuff like that, which is great. So there we go, 26%. We were at 12%, if I remember rightly, when we plugged in at home. So it's charging back up, and in a couple of hours, 2.5 hours or so, it should be all back to 100% from that 7 kilowatt charger just down the road from us. So I've just been editing this into a wee video, my day's experiment from Aberdeen to Dundee and back again, which is a combined mileage of about 130 miles. And so that took 2 charges on a very cold day of between 0 and kind of 3 degrees. And so while I've been editing in Premiere Pro, the car has been charging, and you can see I just check this, and it is all fully charged, so we can go down and unplug it just in case anyone else needs to plug in their car. I've only seen one other car plugged into that charger, a Nissan Leaf. In fact, 2 different Nissan Leafs on leaves. Are they Leaf? I don't know what they are. Anyway, so I don't think that'd be a problem, but I'll better go and move the car from the public charging point. And so that raised the question of how much this trip costs. So 130 miles, trip down from one city to another city and back again in the car. And my fuel costs were precisely 0. Nothing. I was using public chargers, and they are currently free for anyone with an EV to use. I was kind of calculating roughly how much it would have cost in our previous car, the car I switched for this one, and I think it would have been about £20, £25 of fuel. Could even have been a bit more than that with a 3-litre diesel in that one. So huge difference. I did have to pay £2 for parking in Dundee, so that was my only cost for the journey itself. Not bad, whichever way you look at it. So a good first experiment with the Renault ZOE.